Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today. Before I begin any remarks on today's announcement that we're making on behalf of the Department of Justice, I want to acknowledge the members of the DOJ team who are with me today. Chief Ed Medrano, who is the Chief of the Department of Justice's Division of Law Enforcement, is with me. Nate Diwali is the Assistant Director of the Bureau of Gambling Control. Tyler Burtis is a special agent in charge dealing with these gaming issues. And quite honestly, Nate and Tyler are the two individuals who can give us some real details about these things. Not with us, and I just want to acknowledge them because they are part of this team that has done a lot of this work. Stephanie Shimizu, Director of the Bureau of Gambling Control. Sarah Drake, Senior Assistant Attorney General. Michelle Laird, Supervising Deputy Attorney General. Bill Torngren, Deputy Attorney General. All of these folks have been involved in the work that's part of today's announcement. The California Department of Justice's Bureau of Gambling Control works to ensure that gambling in the state of California is conducted honestly, competitively, and free from criminal and corrupt elements. In order for the Bureau to do that work, casinos must make full and true disclosure to us as mandated under the Gambling Control Act of 1998. When our regulators find evidence that a casino is withholding information or participating in potential criminal activity or dishonest behavior, we take action. That's what we did when we learned that the Hawaiian Gardens Casino here in the Los Angeles area, one of the largest card rooms in the state of California, failed to report to the Bureau for years that the casino was the subject of an investigation by the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, or FinCEN at the federal level, with respect to the Bank Secrecy Act. That's a federal law intended to combat money laundering across the nation. Hawaiian Gardens Casino also failed to disclose that it was involved in settlement negotiations with FinCEN, and that as a part of the settlement they were discussing with FinCEN and that they ultimately reached, the casino admitted to violations of requirements under the Bank Secrecy Act between 2009 and 2016, including, among the things they didn't do, failing to implement and maintain an effective anti-money laundering program, to report certain transactions involving currency in amounts greater than $10,000, to report certain suspicious activities, and to keep appropriate records. But Hawaiian Gardens not only failed to report that information to us at the Department of Justice and our Bureau of Gambling Control, they also knowingly attempted to mislead the Department of Justice about their negligent reporting practices. During the time of this investigation, Hawaiian Gardens Casino submitted under penalty of perjury multiple applications for license renewals to the Bureau of Gambling Control, all of which failed to include any of this critical information. The casino claimed it had, quote, always engaged in honest and frank dialogue with regulators. Both the failures to disclose and the admitted violations of the Bank Secrecy Act violated the casino's duties and responsibilities under the Gambling Control Act. And those violations have consequences. Today, we are announcing a settlement against Hawaiian Gardens Casino. This settlement is the result of years' worth of work and is one of the largest in the history of the Bureau of Gambling Control. As a result of the settlement, Hawaiian Gardens Casino will pay a penalty of $3,150,000, reimburse the Bureau of Gambling Control for its costs associated with the investigation and prosecution of this case, and the casino must complete a required 24-month compliance period. The casino's ability to continue to hold its state gambling license will be contingent upon its ability to meet the terms of the settlement during that compliance period. The penalties assessed in the settlement that we are announcing today are in addition to the $2.8 million penalty previously imposed on the casino by FinCEN. There's no excuse for failing to comply with the law and deliberately attempting to mislead regulators. We do not and will not tolerate deceptive behavior that prevents efforts to tackle money laundering. And we will make every effort to stop it in its tracks. In fact, as a result of this case, the California Department of Justice's Bureau of Gambling Control and FinCEN at the federal level have entered into a first-in-the-nation, first-of-its-kind state and federal collaboration to share information and offer trainings to the casino industry. We're trying to make sure that this industry operates on a level playing field, and that is a priority for us. This should be a warning as well to all card rooms and casinos across the state of California. In the gaming world, if you fail to play by the rules, expect to pay the price. At the California Department of Justice, we will do all we can to prevent the marriage of money laundering and casinos.